Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a book that might just flip everything you thought you knew about weight control on its head. We're talking about Dr. Andrew Jenkinson's Why We Eat Too Much. And this isn't just another diet book. It's a whole new way of looking at appetite and our bodies.
All right, let's just jump right in with the million-dollar question, right? Why do most diets fail? I mean, we've all been there. You start a diet, you're super motivated, you're doing everything right, and then boom, the weight comes creeping back, maybe even more than before. It's so frustrating. But what if I told you it's got nothing to do with your willpower?
This right here, this is a quote from one of Dr. Jenkinson's patients, but honestly, it could be from any one of us. It's that feeling of just being completely stuck. But here's the key. That's not a confession of failure. The new science says it's actually a huge clue, a signpost pointing us toward a powerful biological system we've been getting wrong for decades.
Okay, look at this number, negative 700 calories a day. What does that even mean? Well, researchers followed the contestants from that show, The Biggest Loser. And 6 years after the finale, their metabolisms had just crashed. On average, their bodies were burning 700 fewer calories every single day than they should have been. Their bodies were actively fighting them, basically guaranteeing they'd regain the weight.
So for so long, we've been sold this idea, right? The willpower myth, that it's all just a simple math problem. Calories in, calories out. If you fail, you just weren't disciplined enough. But the biological truth, it's something else entirely. It's way more complex. The real fight isn't you versus a brownie. It's you versus a powerful ancient regulator built right into your brain. So what is this regulator? It's something called your weight set point. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like the thermostat in your house. Your brain, deep down in the subconscious part, has a weight range it thinks is just right for you. And man, it will fight tooth and nail to keep you in that range, no matter what you consciously want. Okay, so what happens when you decide to go to war with this set point? You start a strict diet, you cut your calories way down, but your brain doesn't see health kick. No, it sees one thing: famine, starvation, and it freaks out. It slams the brakes on your metabolism to save every last bit of energy, and it turns the volume way, way up on your hunger hormones. It's basically screaming at you to go find food. Okay, so if this is a natural system, and it's not really our fault, that leads to the next big question, doesn't it? What's wrong with the thermostat itself? If our bodies are so smart, why are so many of our set points programmed to a weight that's, too high? Why is the normal for so many of us not a healthy weight? The answer, it turns out, has a lot to do with a huge shift in the world around us. You can pretty much trace it back to the late 1970s. The official advice came out: cut saturated fat. So the food industry did. They took the fat out, but food without fat can taste like cardboard. So to make it taste good again, they pumped it full of two things: tons of sugar and all these super processed vegetable oils. And here's the crazy part. We did this to try and be healthier. We fundamentally re-engineered our food. That low-fat label became this magic halo. We thought we were making a good choice, but a lot of those foods were just loaded with sugar instead. All this did was send a bunch of confusing, scrambled signals to our bodies. And slowly, without anyone realizing it, our thermostats started getting dialed up. And this right here shows one of the biggest changes. It's the ratio of two types of fats, omega-6 and omega-3. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors, they ate about a 1-to-1 ratio, perfectly balanced. Us today, in the modern world, with all our processed foods and vegetable oils, we're looking at a 20-to-1 ratio. That is wildly out of whack, and it's a recipe for inflammation. So that crazy imbalance isn't just some number on a chart. It creates total chaos with our hormones. You get this low-grade, chronic inflammation all the time. That inflammation messes with your insulin. And, this is the really important part, it completely scrambles the signal from the hormone that's supposed to tell your brain you're full. That hormone is called leptin. And this brings us to a huge concept: leptin resistance. So think of it this way. Your fat cells produce leptin to send a message to your brain. The message is simple:
Hey boss, the tanks are full, we've got plenty of energy, you can stop eating now. But when you have all that inflammation, the brain can't hear the message. It's like the phone line is full of static. So your brain is like a car with a broken fuel gauge. The tank is overflowing, but the gauge still says empty. So what does it do? It tells you to go find more fuel. And that is why trying to just power through and fight your set point is almost impossible. Dr. Jenkinson has this amazing analogy. He says telling someone to just eat less to control their weight long term, it's like telling them to just hold their breath. You can do it for a little while, sure, but eventually, your biology, your primal need to survive, is going to take over. It always wins. Okay, so this might all sound a bit grim. If dieting is actually part of the problem, if eat less, move more just triggers this ancient famine response, then what on earth are we supposed to do? What's the solution? How do we get out of this trap? And this is where everything changes. It's a total shift in thinking. The goal is no longer to declare war on your own body. We need to stop fighting it. The real goal is to work with your biology, to gently, carefully reset that thermostat back down to a healthy, natural level. So how do we actually do that? How do you reset the thermostat? Well, the book lays out a clear plan. And let me be clear, it is not another restrictive diet. It's about changing the signals you send to your brain. Things like lowering your insulin by eating real, high-quality food, not just counting calories. It's about getting stress hormones like cortisol under control with good sleep. And it's about fixing that broken omega-6 to omega-3 ratio to calm down the inflammation. So really, it boils down to two paths. You've got the old way, that brutal cycle of restriction, hunger, rebound, and feeling like a failure. It's a constant fight. And then you have the new way, where you work with your body. You understand the biology, you change the signals, and you let your body do what it's designed to do. Find its natural, healthy weight without a fight. So maybe the biggest takeaway is this. What if this whole struggle with weight was never about a lack of willpower? What if it's not a moral failing at all, but just a biological mismatch? Our ancient bodies living in a crazy modern food world. The key isn't to just try harder, it's to understand better. Because when you understand the science of your set point, you finally have the tools to change the inputs, to fix the signals, and maybe, just maybe, to end the diet wars for good.